Hello, and welcome to the breakdown of what is new in this year's Liminal digital identity landscape. My name is Travis Jarae, and I'm the founder and CEO of Liminal, a boutique strategy firm focused on digital identity, fintech, and cybersecurity. In this video, I'll be introducing you to the 2022 Liminal digital identity landscape. This year has a few significant changes from the 2021 landscape. We added a few new features, introduced several new solution segments, and said goodbye to solution segments that have been with us for the past few years. If you're new to Liminal landscapes, you may find it helpful to start by watching some of our introductory videos available on our website at www.liminal.co. As a reminder, the Liminal landscape is intended to be a tool for creative exploration and decision-making. We've intentionally left logos off the landscape to reduce noise and minimize complexity. Every year, we begin our reevaluation of the digital identity landscape in July. Over a series of internal workshops, we agree on the biggest shifts in the market that require adjustments to the landscape. These shifts can be technological, process-oriented, regulatory, or purely based on product market awareness. We test our hypothesis with over 100 trusted advisors and experts to align on what eventually becomes the next year's landscape. This year, we sharpened our pencils and wanted to introduce two new features. First, a product feature to solution segment mapping, and second, the solution segment type Ubiquitous features. Starting with product features to solution segment mapping. Based on over 200 client engagements across nearly every solution segment on the landscape, we've identified the 10 to 15 most defining product features for each solution segment. This has been incredibly helpful for determining when to merge and when to split solution segments. If a solution segment's product features shrink below 7, we make the decision to either merge the solution segment with a similar segment with overlapping features or remove the solution segment altogether if we can't find the right home for those product features. If a solution segment's product features grow to over 17, we make the decision to either split the solution segment into two segments or reallocate features to an adjacent segment based on product feature fit. By placing boundaries around the product feature to solution segment mapping, our landscape has become much more useful for company benchmarking. Next is the addition of the Ubiquitous feature solution segment type. In previous years, we've simply removed solution segments as their product features become ubiquitous or simply become table stakes for many solution segments. We decided that it was better to show which solution segments are going through this transition over time, rather than removing them altogether. Now, you'll be able to see which solution segments we expect to become critical components to the entire landscape versus component pieces across product suites. Now that we've introduced our two new landscaping features, let's introduce the 2022 Liminal digital identity landscape. Based on the product feature to solution segment mapping, we had more changes this year than in previous years, including the splitting and merging of solution segments and the placement of the solution segment on the landscape. The only new solution segment this year is EID, civil IDs, and identity networks, which replaced the self-sovereign identity segment. While we had a difficult time landing on a singular term for this solution segment, we expect this segment to have the most change over the next 24 to 36 months as product features become more well-defined and companies in this segment mature. The first major shift on the landscape was splitting of KYB and KYC into two separate segments: business and entity verification and identity verification. Subsequently, we combined parts of the identity verification and document verification segments into the newly minted identity verification segment and split out document verification into a brand new segment. This correlates with the changes that we've been seeing regarding product feature fit as well as company focus. The second major change was the removal of behavioral biometrics as its own solution segment. We placed the product features into biometrics, authentication, and fraud detection and prevention. Lastly, we removed the alt in front of credit and financial identity to acknowledge that there is less of a difference between traditional and alternative data for credit decisioning and analytics. Subsequently, we migrated credit bureaus to the credit and financial identity segment, leaving data aggregators as their own distinct segment. We also updated several solution segment titles to align more closely with market-defined terms. We renamed Physical IAM to Physical Access Control, User-Generated Content Moderation to User-Generated Content Management, and Fraud Prevention and Risk Management to Fraud Detection and Prevention. Several solution segments dropped completely this year, including both of the healthcare-related segments, EMPI and EMR. While these solution segments have a slew of healthcare-specific digital identity providers, we found it difficult to differentiate their product features from the product features mapped within other solution segments on the landscape. In addition to the changes to the solution segments, we've also seen a slight shift in solution segment type designations. This year's Golden Cogs, or solution segments that are both highly valued enablers and potential platforms, include user-generated content management, data privacy and consent management, identity graphing and resolution, data aggregators, user and entity behavior analytics, mobile identity and device intelligence, and our new solution segment, EIDs, civil IDs, and identity networks. And that concludes this video on updates made to the 2022 Liminal digital identity landscape. While the landscape is a living framework that is never complete, we hope that you find it helpful when building your strategy. If you have any questions or would like to learn more about how we can help your business, please feel free to reach out through our contact form on our website, liminal.co.